surplus. For over 5,000 years, until the beginning of the 20th century, women's labor was mainly outside the circuit of capital. The purpose of women's labor wasn't to create surplus. In the main, women labored, but they did not labor to produce surplus value. Like other human labor, the purpose was to fulfill socially and morally sanctioned human needs, the need of your family, the need of your kids, etc. According to 2019 estimates, about 1 million women have become capitalist wage slaves, whose purpose is to create more surplus for the system, like men. In Europe, America, and China, and several hundreds of millions are joining their ranks in the offices, sweatshops, and factories of India, Southeast Asia, Latin America, and Africa. These women who were never part of the capitalist circuit of accumulation are becoming part and parcel of capitalist circuit of accumulation. And capitalism does this through providing them the rights, the economic rights, by creating capitalist employment for female labor. So capitalism has benefited enormously from the commodification of female labor. In many ways, female labor is cheaper than male labor. Also, when you include female into the labor force, the wages goes down. So you had previously you were able to so before, capitalism has benefited enormously from female labor and female employment. And there are two main, at least at the start, female labor is cheaper than male labor. By reducing the wages, you can increase your profit. And the second and more important thing is, by including, so before female entered into the workforce, you had, for example, 50 workers. Now you have 100. So this increase in the labor force, doubling of the labor force, depresses wages. So before, our family was able to survive on the wage of a father, for example. But now father works as well as mother works, and they still can't. Still many families struggle, despite the fact that the whole family unit, most of their time is spent within the circuit of capitalism, making money for capitalists. And that's very important. Capitalism has benefited and is benefiting enormously from the commodification of female labor and promotion of capitalist employment. So obviously, feminist movement doesn't, most feminists ignore these aspects. Capitalism has benefited enormously from the commodification of female labor and promotion of capitalist employment. And its intensification remains a prime objective of the feminist movement, because the feminist movement is a capitalist movement. The movement of rights within capitalist framework. So women's bodies, obviously women's bodies are also being commodified. So as against men, women, it's not that their labor, but their bodies are sold as well. Not just the bodies, but the images of the bodies. So female bodies are prime resource for becoming entertainment industry. And as capitalism develops, entertainment industry becomes very important for creating more and more desires, for sustaining demand and all those things, by appealing to our dark nature. So entertainment industry obviously relies on women and their body and the image of their bodies. So entertainment industry and the essential pivot of all-encompassing advertisements, advertisement and marketing industries are essential for creating demand. And both these industries rely heavily on women and their exploitation of women and their bodies. $1 trillion are being made by ongoing sales and purchases of female body and images. This is female emancipation. Emancipation from God for the sake of capitalism. Emancipation from their family for the sake of capitalism. So every emancipation corresponds to corresponding enslavement. So you are emancipated from God, you are emancipated from traditional family, but you become slave of capitalism. This is female emancipation. Women's bodies have become capitalist property in the Lockean terms, because Locke justified capitalist property on the basis that we own our own bodies. A key slogan of the global feminist movement, echoed in the movement's Women's March in Pakistan in 2022, is "Our bodies, our choice." And this is kufr, that is, this is the denial of Islam, This is the rejection of Islam because it explicitly proclaims human divinity, because you claim that you are masters of your own body. It denies that bodies belong to Allah and are entrusted to us for a short period as a sacred trust about we are accountable, we will be accountable. So capitalism cannot do this without making a Muslim woman forget this fact, and other women forget this fact, that they don't own their bodies. Their bodies are a trust. And even if you don't believe in a God, it doesn't make sense to say that you own your own body. Capitalist possession of female body is a manifestation of the corruption of the soul. So say you own your own body, and you have our body is in our choice. But obviously, by denying that bodies belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you don't own your body, you just relegate them to or delegate them to shaitan. And obviously, that's shaitan of capitalism, or shaitan of accumulation. So capitalist possession of female body is a manifestation of the corruption of the soul. Capitalist subjectification of female consciousness is reflected in the social devaluation of the institution of motherhood and of private life in general. Bringing women to the public sphere amounts to the capitalist colonization of private life. So private life itself becomes a commodity on which million or billion dollar industries are based. The dissolution of the family, the devaluation of the marriage contract, the subsumption of love by sex, the glorification of sex, the dismemberment of the community, brotherhood, and the bastardization of the progeny. These are the outcomes of this subjectification of the women bodies and colonization of the private life and dissolution of the institution of family.